Please tell me you know this guy. Does he look familiar? If so, you probably know him for one of the greatest American bands ever, Earth, Wind & Fire, Philip Bailey. Most people know him as the guy with the unmistakable falsetto voice, singing songs like Reasons and Keep Your Head to the Sky. But what a lot of people don't know is in the middle of all the fame, funk, and arena tours, Philip Bailey was also making gospel music. And not just one album either. Out of his 10 solo albums, 3 of them were gospel music projects. Starting off with The Wonders of His Love in 1984, Triumph in 1986, and Family Affair in 1989. Now, if you know anything about Earth, Wind & Fire, this might all seem random at first, because Earth, Wind & Fire's whole image was wrapped up in Egyptology, astrology, mysticism, and all kinds of spiritual symbolism. So how did we get from that to gospel music albums on a Christian label? Well, the seeds were already there. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, Bailey started moving around in gospel circles. He appeared on Andre Crouch's Grammy-winning album, I'll Be Thinking of You. And he and bandmate Maurice White also worked with Walter Hawkins. Then, in 1980, Bailey joined Denise Williams, Billy Davis Jr., and Marilyn McCool in a stage production called Jesus at the Roxy at a club in Los Angeles. And according to Denise Williams, hundreds of people gave their life to Christ at the end of the show. That experience gave him the bright idea to pursue gospel music alongside his other projects. A few years later, Bailey released his first gospel album, The Wonders of His Love. Let me tell you something. This joint is rocking. And it's not one of those gospel albums where, somebody loses their identity and tones everything down. The funk is still there. The soul is still there. You can still hear the Earth, Wind & Fire influences all through it. It's just directed towards God. My favorite track is I Want to Know You. But people also really love I Will Nobody's Cast You Out and He Don't Lie. If you've never heard this album before, definitely check it out. It's available on all streaming platforms. And it's one of those albums that sits in that sweet spot between gospel, funk, soul, and the 80s production that you know and love. And honestly, it deserves a lot more love and credit in conversations about gospel, funk, and soul. What's also interesting is that Bailey never left the secular side. He continued releasing R&B and pop projects and never stopped touring with Earth, Wind & Fire, even to this day. But regardless of where people know him from, we cannot ignore what he contributed to the gospel, funk, and soul world. And that's why we dig. As always, keep digging.